Okay, Isabella, here is my thoughts on how to get the math questions they emailed me. There was a question or two I had a little trouble seeing, but I'm going to go about how you'd get it with whatever number you needed. Okay, these questions are in order from what I got in the email. First one says, what is the value of W in the figure above? This one's fairly straightforward. I think this is 35 here, and this should be 45. Remember, vertical angles are always the same, so if this side was 35, this side has to be 35 also. If the other side on the right is 45, that means inside is 45. The whole triangle is 180. Subtract 35, 5, 7, you get 145 left. Subtract another 45 from that, then you get 100. 90 is a good guess. Maybe you did that by looking at it. Still a fine guess. You probably know it's not D or E based on the length of the angle, and it doesn't say figure not drawn to scale, so that means it was drawn to scale. Alright, this one I had the toughest trying to actually see. I think it says two sides of a triangle, length of, I think it's 3. So I'll show you to do it with 3. All the following could be the length except. So if two sides are 3, think about one side being this side, and then the other side being really, really close to going back to it. So if you subtract the 2, you can obviously get 0. So a number between 0 is absolute smallest you could get. The absolute biggest you could get is if you went the other way. So if you have 3 this side, and then let's say we went as far out as possible, like this. If you wanted to actually make your triangle, it might look like that. The biggest would be 6. So again, I'm not sure exactly what answer it might be. It looks like E because that's too big, but I can't see that number that I circled. If you let me know the page number of that, I could probably figure it out. Alright, this is the other question on the same page. It's a bit blurry, but this is how I think it looks. It says 2.5 million votes. Each vote is for 1 or 2 people. One received 28,000 or 25,000 more than the other. So what percent? To do this one, you would want to figure out how many each person actually voted. It looks like that's how you started it. But if you have 2.5 mil, what I would do is divide that by 2 first. Get 1.25 mil. That's what it would be if everyone tied, obviously. Now one of them got 28,000 more than the other. That means one person got half that. They would get 14,000 more. The other person will get 14,000 less then, because obviously the same person can't vote twice. So then if you add that up and then divide by the total 2.5 million, you should get your answer. I can't see the numbers here, so try that on your calculator. Just do 1.25 million plus 14,000. Divide that by 2.5 million. Percent means out of 100, so you times that by 100. Okay, this is one of the grid-in ones where, unfortunately, you don't have a multiple choice that'll help you. It says, what's the least value of x that satisfies the equation above? I think it says x minus 3 equals 1/2. You have to find both values of x that will actually work. Whatever smaller obviously works. When you have an absolute value, do the positive first. So just do x minus 3 equals 1/2. Add 3 to both sides. X equals 3.5. Now that's most likely incorrect because that was an easy way to do it. If you do the negative of it, you find your answer. So negative parentheses x minus 3 equals 1/2. It'll be negative x plus 3 equals 1/2. Subtract 3 to both sides. Negative x equals negative, I'm trying to do this in my head, 2.5. Yeah, that works, because then negative 2.5 minus 3, negative 5.5. I'm sorry, that's actually negative 1/2. And then the absolute value of negative 1/2 would be positive 1/2. So 2.5 should be the answer. Obviously 2.5 is less than 3.5. You could also put this on your graphing calculator You do second math, press abs, and then put that under y equals. Just do abs x minus 3 in parentheses as y1, y2, just put 1/2, and then press graph. Next you'll press intersect, so you'll do trace intersect, and then you'll see the two values that work for this equation. Alright, this one, you got to find out the 4-digit integer. W will be the first, X is the second, Y is the third, Z is the fourth. I would wait on number 1, because there's too many variables, there's nothing to actually solve. Try 3 first. Z equals W minus 5. If you add, obviously Z is going to be 5 bigger than W, and they are different digits. The next one, W equals Y plus 1. What that means is W is 1 bigger than Y, but also 6 less than Z because of the two that go together. And then I think it says for number 1, X equals W plus Y minus Z. Okay, I actually had to pause this video for a little bit to try to figure this out. The first two on the top will actually kind of give it away. Integer means it has to be 1 digit. You can't have 10 as an integer. So look at the top, Z equals W minus 5. If you make W really big, this doesn't work, but watch. Let's say W is 8. Z would be 8 minus 5, or 3. And Y would be 7, right? Because 7 plus 1 is 8. If you put that in here, 8 for W plus 7 minus 3, this is not going to work because that's bigger than 10. So we want all of this to be 10 or less. So let me erase what we just did. I can't figure out how to erase all of it. So what actually works, I'm going to do this in green. Make W 5. 5 minus 5 is 0, so Z is 0. And then Y will be 5 minus 1, or 4. This happens to work because 5 for W plus 4 for Y is 9. 9 minus 0 is, the whole thing would equal 9. And then everything works. So W would be 5. X is 9. Y is 4. And Z is 0. Try it with different numbers besides 5 for W. If you do 6 for W, X is going to equal 10, which is a 2-digit number, and that doesn't work. And to be honest, this one took me a little while to figure out. Maybe the best way to do it is just to back solve and try different numbers and then see that there's only one way to actually get it to work. Okay, I think it says seats a total of 84 people here. Some seat 4, some seat 5, 19 total tables. Might be the best way is to back solve it. Divisible by 4 also. So remember there's 4 multiples, so 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20, and then it repeats itself after that. So that kind of helps figuring it out. You notice 4 times 1 obviously is just 4. So if it has 84 people, you have to have maybe 1, or 4 times 6 is 24, for instance. Again, I end with 4. So it has to be a pattern of either 1, 6. It goes up 5 each time. Okay? So again, how many tables seat 5 people? We could back solve at this point. You actually didn't really need to do any of what I just said. Try each choice and see which one works. So let's just try choice C first. How many tables seat 5 people? If there's 6 seating 5 people, that's 30 total. I already used up 6 of the 19 tables, so if you subtract those, you get 13 left. 13 times 4. Doesn't work because it ends with a 2. It would be, what, 262, 52? That's a little off. So now let's try 7. I'm trying a bigger number because I ended with too little. 7 times 5 is 35. That means I have 12 tables left. 12 times 4 is 48. 48 plus 35 is 83. Doesn't work either. So I think it's E. We'll do 8 times 5 is 40. 19 minus 8 is 11. 11 times 4 is 44. You notice that ends with the 4. 44 plus 40 equals 84. So that's the way I'd go about it. Just try each choice. One of them is going to work. The others obviously won't. Okay, area of the shaded portion. You know the side is 2. It's also the radius is half is 1. Think just find the area of the whole square. Find the area of the circle. And then just do the area of the circle. Divide by 4 because it's cut into fourths. So the area equals pi r squared. It'll be pi times 1 squared, which equals 1. But then there's cut into 4. Think about 4 slices of a pizza. It's going to be pi over 4. Okay, Isabella, I hope that helped. If you have any other questions, send me an email. Remember, you could also email anything on physics or I think it's pre-cal. Good luck with everything.